Well, thank you. Hey, now speaking of church, can I say something? If more folks went to church, we wouldn't be in this mess we're in now.
You know what? I agree with you, Doug. I'd like to shake your hand, sir. Here we go.
Yes, this Hollywood actor is getting what he deserves after doing this. Before we go into this video and the full analysis, I'm going to play you this clip.
I do not care that Elon Musk is unconventional in his methods. So according to Jasmine Crockett, who said that she is also on the House Budgeting Committee, Elon Musk is doing things wrong, and that's why Democrats are so upset. She said that what he's supposed to do when he discovers these things is convene a committee and have a committee meeting so that they can discuss things quietly. He is not supposed to bring things to the attention of the American people, and he has been posting things on X. He's been vocal about it on social media every time he finds something. But I do not care if his methods are unconventional. I think that the reason they want him to discover these things and keep it behind closed doors so that they can continue with this money laundering that they have been doing over the last few years. And I'm curious too about Jasmine Crockett because she loves to talk about the oppression of the black person in this country and how white people, according to her, will never understand how it feels to be a black person in America. This is what Jasmine Crockett loves to talk about. But what about the oppression of the American taxpayer? You have taxes taken out of your paycheck before you even get it. And our government, our elected officials are sending our tax dollars all over the world, to paying for the most ridiculous things on our dime. $59 million spent on housing undocumented migrants in the state of New York in luxury hotels. $59 million. But meanwhile, we have American citizens who are sleeping in tents and who lost everything they have. But our government managed to come up with $59 million to house undocumented immigrants in luxury hotels in the state of New York. If Jasmine Crockett and all these other Democrats were really for the people, this is what they would be talking about. They would be advocating for the people instead of advocating against an appointed elected official who is doing his job.
Yes, this lady is right. This video was reposted by Elon Musk few hours ago. When I saw it, she make a lot of sense. Now going to this next video, Bibo had a segment the other day. I don't know if it was an interview or a podcast or what exactly. I had to edit out the vulgar word because it was too rough. What he said on this clip clearly shows you the minds of these people. He's angry with Elon Musk. In fact, billionaires supporting Trump at this moment. He even went further to renaming the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America. I don't know if you've seen that segment before we go into this Tom Hanks clip where he disrespected nearly the whole country.
The amount of people that are struggling out there because of these fucking billionaires, and they got us all arguing liberal and conservative. We got to stop doing that. Like, I am so tired of hearing about people going to bed worried about what's going to happen next week. There is so much money in this country, and there's so much work being done, you know, and if you work a full week at a job, you should be able to pay your rent. You shouldn't have to go out and get another job and still be struggling. It's bad for the country because then the kids don't see their parents and they're not getting the upbringing that they need. It's so fair. They need to be put down, you know, like rabid dogs. They're like rabid with greed and just going out and just dividing everybody. You know, just the kind of epitome of this time right now, like how divisive we are, that, like, you know, the Gulf of Mexico is now called the Gulf of America, and people get excited. Like, how does that help your wallet? It's an empty gesture, and then it's also like a race gesture. Like, that's the white guy that's him saying Mexicans without saying it. You know, like, who has a problem with Mexicans? Like, what is the real problem? This is just such an ugly time. Yeah, that just sucks. That sucks. broke.
Yes, I don't always like to talk about these Hollywood people, but something is going on. Hollywood actor Tom Hanks just disrespected every Republican on SNL as he was dressed up as Trump supporter with a MAGA hat. Hanks portrayed himself as an ignorant racist who refused to shake a black man's hand. This comes as a surprise considering the rumors about how he had no reason to disrespect every consecutive in America. This appears to be random and divisive. When I look at that video, at a certain point, I was not getting the point until I had to watch it to learn. It is crazy to see people still struggling to divide us. This is 2025.
Church, can I say something? If more folks went to church, we wouldn't be in this mess we're in now.
You know what? I agree with you, Doug. I'd like to shake your hand, sir. Here we go.
No,
Oh, no.
like that.
Oh, no. It's just a handshake. Yeah, it's just a handshake. Yeah, all right. You welcome in Black Jeopardy anytime.
Yes, if you see his face, it clearly tells you how panicking he was on this segment. Now going back into that video, if you want to really dissect it, it tells you a lot. And I'm not going to talk about that video much. Last week I did a video where these same Hollywood people, this guy went on an award show, went off on Trump, called Trump all sorts of names. I don't know why they are so terrified of this man. Look at what he's doing here.
This dude is probably one of the most unintelligent billionaires I have ever met or seen or witnessed. Which, you can probably even glean that from watching these people on TV. Anyways, all of that is to say is that they don't do their homework. Clearly, they're putting 19-year-olds in at the Treasury. This dude is not smart. And the danger in the lack of intelligence and the lack of expertise that Elon has. I mean, this guy is one of the most morally vacant, but also just least knowledgeable about these systems that we really know of. But the point is that what that means is that they're going to hit a button inevitably. They are going to hit a button and things can go sideways.
If you found out that all of the same opinions that you've had from the media for the last 10 years were funded and created for you to have those opinions, wouldn't you pump the brakes a little bit and start thinking maybe the right-wingers aren't so bad? We voted for this so we can see all the leeches that are sucking the money out of all of our company, bro. Join the team.
Yes. Do you know the best thing? As the media continue to freak out with Democrat, CBS, President Trump is more popular than he has ever been. Why? Because he is making good on his promises. Promises made, promises kept is not only the morally right thing to do, it is good politics. They are acknowledging this today that, Trump approval ratings skyrocket to almost 60. That is to tell you, this is what he said. I would do this, I would do that. And the people voted him for that. Don't expect him to change because Democrats want to show that they can demonstrate, break into offices. They don't want accountability. Reasons. You see this freak out. Going back into this crazy Hollywood actor, what he actually said about Trump is extremely disturbing. Let me play this video so you can see exactly.
And I'm in shock. My wife is in shock. We're all in shock. The people spoke and they elected this president. And that's a fact. But I don't even think the people who elected him really believed that he was going to do what he said he was going to do. And what he's doing is much worse than what he even said. The dark profundity of what he's been doing in the last week is mind-boggling. That he would be shutting down PEPFAR, which has been doing extraordinary work, especially on HIV/AIDS in Africa, saved tens of millions of lives. This is dark time in the U.S., and I think it's a time for everyone to stand up. I was reading an article by someone, a Hungarian, who watched things change so radically under Orban. And he said, America better be vigilant, because we didn't know how fast this would happen in Hungary. And I can see this happening very quickly now. We have this incredibly dark marriage of power and money like we've never seen before. So the fact that these irresponsible and perhaps dangerously corrosive billionaires are running everything in America right now is a danger for everyone on this planet.
I'm coming from a place now that we're in a very dark place in America, where we have a bully and a thug who's the President of the United States. It's not just in the U.S., it's everywhere. Everywhere.
To be doing, like, there is a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse within a system.
If you see clips behind here, this is for the algorithm. Someone asked me, is it helping your channel? Yes, it is helping the channel. If it was not helping, I would not put
a business approach to the government in the White House. We're seeing right now with this whole U.S. aid thing, where they're uncovering massive amounts of corruption.
Essential.
Early on, immediately.
She's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10 to her.
No. The EU does not treat the U.S. fairly on trade, and that he has some big complaints. Is that true?
Right? And it doesn't mean that we should sit and pretend that it's suddenly okay, that this new presidency is just going to keep on keeping on. That is not the case. And
awful things have happened. So and sparks move things. And it doesn't matter how much water you have.
Future president and his gag
are somebody in policy.
The city of the Pacific Palisades is burning. And, I flew here last night. I was on a plane.
You getting water to areas that need...
He's been trained his whole life to do.
What do we do?
Right now you're looking straight. Remember it.
We as a country about James.
Yeah, and then I think all our tax dollars probably went for Gavin's hair gel. I don't know.
Jim Jordan.
Josh Green, the governor.
Watch news or talk.
Now look, I have a lot of...
The Democratic Party has about everything.
The next department that appears to be on the chopping block is the Department of Education. Just earlier today,
the biggest loser on Team Chiefs, literally right next to us was Taylor Swift. And then to the left was Donald Trump. Those are boo.
I tell you what makes me a little not calm. Trump keeps